first viewer and everything, and also my computer is going to be like super lag, and my VTuber model is not even here. Yeah, I'm actually like doing something at the moment with my computers, so I'm not supposed to stream actually, but it has become a daily routine to my life to a point I felt weird not to stream when I'm kind of like normal, because most of the time like when I'm not streaming it's because I'm have like vertigo and like stuff like lots of things like basically medical stuff happening to me, so it's a little bit hard for me to do the stream. But when I don't have it, and then I feel like, you know what, I've been working a little bit too hard, and then I should take a vacations. And then I just sat there. I have nothing to do. I felt like, oh shit, I should stream. And then now I'm here. But actually, my computer is like working on lots of stuff. So yeah, yeah. Currently I'm downloading some games so I can like have a little bit of variety on my like, gaming streams, and also I need to work on a little bit of my clipping stuff, and also my shot making skill, because I actually got a offer. Okay, I actually got an offer of promoting a art channel, not an art channel, art platform. I'm not sure I have the like skill for it, so I have to like own my skill a little bit before I can give them the proper answer. But let me take my medication first. Either way, yeah, like there's like a few stuff like going on here. I should actually like respond to that email. I don't want to be like, be ghosting that person that long. And I'm not really sure the is it like real or not. Not sure, but I would try. I would try. But anyway, hello to everyone. My name is Kiravaku, and I'm your host and your voice. Here's to entertain you, and may not have no idea what I'm doing. Man, I heard about a lot of places that, like in Southeast Asia, is like having a lot of issues. I have no idea, because I'm more kind of person who don't look at news and most of the times, and sometimes I'm looking like memes like flowing around, and then I suddenly be like, the fuck happened? Like, why there's like such a text, and then I take a look at it, I'll be like, oh, currency in Southeast Asia's almost in every place is literally on fire. I heard about Philippines is on fire, the currencies, and Indonesia's like currency is on fire. And where again? I think it's Vietnam. Yeah, Vietnam like currency is also on fire. Feel bad for them, because like Malaysia just got like a high bump of currency lately. Because like after like the 1 MDB stuff, our currency dropped like a lot, and the entirety of like the ASEAN countries just laughing at point and laugh at Malaysia's. Now our money is rise. Somehow like some of the country like money have dropped a lot, and then I'll be like, I don't point and laugh at people that much. So I actually legitimately feel bad for them, because like, well at least one good thing is, if you're still doing like international like business, you know, you earning like USD, you are actually doing very well. You will do very well. But if you are like, working over there, earning money over there only, I can feel you guys. I can feel it. Yeah, yeah. By the way, there's still again like a lot of things to work with. For one thing, I'm not sure I can like, show you guys my Steam. because that's the thing. Like my Steam actually do have adult game. Let me check the view. Okay. Okay, there's no adult game inside. Okay, good. So I am going to play this Path of Exile. So yeah, not now, not now. Tomorrow. Right now, I'm just like downloading it. So like, which in case the quote unquote what I'm saying is like I'm not going to be able to stream properly. Is that I supposed to go to sleep right now? To be honest, I just like go to sleep and you know wait for a long while and then come back. All this kind of stuff. Is the stream like super duper lag or something? I don't know because like, I am downloading shit, so it can do something to my computers where I don't know. I guess I should turn this thing off. Brave. Past. Oh no! My task managers! It's not responding! You're supposed to be a chosen one! You're supposed to stop them, not join them! Okay, okay, okay. Now most of the RAM stuff have dropped. Should be okay now. Man, this thing is like eating 40% of my internet speed. And my disk space. I can see like definitely my things is like slowing down a lot. That. I do want to do a little bit of talking stream, a little bit like watch along, a little bit this, a little bit that. Let's go for our daily Atozi watch along. I do want to do that because I did see like I've been holding back. Usually I do like double take. I watch it first and then like I let you guys like watch it again together with you guys. But this time I want to like do a little bit like different. But let me since I turned off like the Brave browsers, let me do something else. Hope it will not lag it out. Because at the end I am using the internet right now. Okay. Working on a little bit stuff going on there. Well, you want me to watch horror stuff? I got news flash for you. I actually don't like horror stuff. It's not like I'm scared of horror stuff. I'm actually legitimately just don't like horror stuff. Because I find a lot of horror things is just out of pure stupidity. I know there's a lot of people like respect the legends, you know. Okay, but generally, horror slop have ruined horror for me. Okay, I blame Five Nights at Freddy's because they glorify all the horror game have to be good by just having jump scare. And then after like Five Nights at Freddy's, almost every game that have horror element to it, they quote unquote call themselves horror, but at the end it's just jump scare. Insomnia is actually like the only one is kind of like, you know. Yeah, like still again, I don't like horror stuff a long time ago. Like essentially I'm like those Asian uncle that just scold and laugh at the ghost rather than like get at the ghost. It's not going to be entertaining. Unless like there's like friends that want to play horror game, they need like a wingman, then yeah, maybe I'll tag along. Aside from that, I won't really like go to like actively go and watch horror stuff. But I do have like some things I do want to watch. A little bit. Oh, by the way, do you guys know like the bricks and minifig stuff? Holy shit, like those guys are scumbag. Like, if you guys don't know, there's like a thing like a store called Bricks and Minifig. They basically sell Lego, okay? There's a dude. His dad is like 60-ish years old. I think is like close to 70s actually, having lots of health issues. He have this like very big Lego collections that worth around like $200, okay, USD. And he don't know how to do selling, same as like most old people does. They don't want to get scammed and everything, so they consignment a deal. So basically the consignment deal is like I have this product, I sign a deal with you, I will hand you this product, you sell it for me, you get a cut. You know, like you do all the negotiating, trading, all those kind of things at as best as possible on your own store. Do it with like what you want, and then in exchange you get a cut. I get the rest of the maybe like 90% or like 80% cut, something like that, you know. So that is like consignment deal. But he signed to the store. It's a franchise called Bricks and Minifig. And since it's the franchise owner themselves is like the store owner, have like stuff to do, and they have no choice but to like move out. But before moving out, they actually told the corporate, like Bricks and Minifig like headquarters, is like, I have this stock left that I signed consignment deals on, and due to some circumstances I need to move, and I need to like handle like the rest of the things before I can close up the store. And they heard about the word close up the store, and then the very valuable like Lego collections in that store. They immediately send someone down to that store, kicked the owners out, and then took over the entire store. So the franchise, like the main franchise, actively sent people down and kicked down the original owner of the store. Okay, after that, because the consignment deal, like the paper itself, is signed by the previous owner, and they told like the guy that with the Lego collection, hey, your Lego is still in my store. I can't get it now because I got kicked out. I don't own the store anymore. So if you want your Lego back, you can go back to the Lego to get your Lego. Go back to the Lego store and get your Lego back. And then he tried to go there, But he got kicked out because what they said is, look here, dude, your consignment due is the previous owner. It's not my. I didn't sign it, so it doesn't. I don't hold any candle to it. So now those Lego is in the store, and now the store is my property now. So the Lego is my property now. That is basically is like theft, you know. Yeah, imagine like my car have like a bunch of donuts, and then like a guy stole my car and say, now this car is my property now. The donut is also my properties. And then, come on, man, I just want my donut back. No, this donut is mine. It's mine now. Oh. It's basically what happened like Bricks and Minifig, just being a prick to that guy. Okay, and then they actively like selling the Lego things, and then like keep advertising that, hey, we have Brian's Lego. This is this legendary like set of Legos here. If you want, you can come and buy it. Don't worry, he won't get a cent. So yeah, it's like the most scumbag move of all. And then Brian decided to sue them. You know, he say like, if you don't give back my Lego, I will sue you. You know, and then like they'll be like, yeah, sue us then. Our actual headquarters is in Sweden. So if you want to sue us, you have to go to Sweden. And since you're a foreigner, to sue like you have a foreign entity that want to like sue us, so you have to pay a special like foreign entity suing fee. So it's like $70,000, yeah, like those kind of monies. And then like you do know how law and courts work, right? So your visa is not going to be stay for long, and you have to come back and forth every single time. By the times that we do all the court things, you already lose most of the money, and then we will downplay the value of your Lego to the maximum point that you would not even you win. You would not earn enough for just paying all the court fee alone. They literally do that. And he got no choice. He's at his wit's end at that point. So yeah. It's stupid. It's stupid. Oh shit, I forgot to turn on my other stream. Back again. Hello everyone. My name is Kirivaku and I'm your host and your voice with a voice. Here's to entertain you and may or may not. I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. I'm not sure what happens, but generally I think like this thing is like good enough, I guess. So yeah, like essentially like the Bricks and Minifig is just going to change their name to Pricks and Mini Dicks at that point. It's just a bunch of dicks in there. They use like maximum corporate strategies to like punch down on like the Brian's and then Ben. Like it's a YouTuber that decided to try to like help them. Then like it's just a very big messy thing. And then you know what? I think this is intentional. They didn't actually do a lot of like any of the other like court action at all. They just keep calling a gosh damn fucking cops to like arrest them and then swat them. Yes, I'm not even kidding. It's like they literally swat that YouTubers constantly. Not exactly. They technically just swat them one time, but generally just keep calling on the cops on them and then lie that that guy have a bomb. Like this is literally a false threat, you know. And then it'll be like, that guy wanna kill me. False threat again. Like anybody do that shit, they would immediately get caught by gosh dang police by that. Like at least fine, like heavy fine by police with all the false calling, you know. But no, nothing happened to them. I don't even know how. Like how corrupt the police is over there. So I know I'm a Malaysian, so I know like police corruptions here and there is always have a little bit, but man, that one is like that place is like super corrupt and not just normal corrupt. I think most of the things is like slowly starting. Again, hello there. I have no idea. Let me close a little bit things off and open a little bit things back on. Should be alright. Should be alright. Yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff I have to like work on. Let's open up some no copyright music. It's not I don't want, it's more like impossible. Sometimes I play them, sometimes I don't. Because I still get constantly like get copyright claim. It's a little bit annoying. Let's boost up the music a little bit. Alright. Either way, hi there everyone. We just managed to join into the stream. Good, anytime soon, wherever we are, whenever you are. Bum 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 bum. Bada 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 bum 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 bum. Bada bada bum 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 bum. Bada 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 bada. Alright. I guess like most of the things are already fixed up. Let me go to the React channel. Okay, let's watch this one. Okay, I haven't watched this yet, so we can kind of watch this thing together. Usually I don't do that, so yeah. is, I guess, a little bit on the unique side today's, I guess.
You got two infiltrated.
Again, people being pricked, you know? To I don't know why, like, so many people try to do a lot of stunts in Japan. It's like, you know, being considerate doesn't mean we're fucking kind, you know? Like, we do a lot of things out of consider, like, not just like Japan, like in Asia's, okay? Generally, we do a lot of things out of considerations of a lot of stuff, and then those motherfuckers just keep fucking taking advantage of it. Like, there's a difference just being polite and considerate and like being agreeing with you, you know? We don't agree you being a fucking clown in there. We're just being considerate that you might have some mental issues. Well, welcome to this stream, and this is basically my daily ritual right now. It's just going to be depends on what things is like show on a Tozy. To be honest, is like we are going to watch like a Tozy daily to increase your intelligence, not to be a prick in the internet. For internet cloud, it's just that is so infinite. Like, A, loser, B, fucking idiot in the internet. This time is, you know, about like two dude decided to, like, if you guys don't know, like Japan have like this exhibit with like this monkey with like love like huggy doll, and then it's like still trying to get like people to accept them, like their like monkey like clan to accept them, like those kind of things. There's like two dude decided to jump into the enclosure, try to kidnap the monkey. Not sure to kidnap the monkey or just to do what. Like, why do you want to jump into the enclosure for? That's the main thing. The either you want to kidnap it or just want to do something about it. They're like, what the fuck you want to do? Jump into it. And of course, they are content creator and IRL streamers. They jumping into it. They want to like create like video about it and then like make cloud of it. Like, why do you want to make a fucking spectacle out of things? Like I say again, like people in Asia's, okay, everyone in Asia's, we are considerate and polite. Doesn't mean that we fucking agree with every single fucking things you guys thinks, okay? Stop doing weird ass shit. How's that? I forgot to turn off the music. Oh wait, I forgot to like, turn on the YouTube sound. Okay, now you guys can watch it.
This video got 2 influencers banned from Japan because essentially this stunt was supposed to generate attention online. But after 2 Americans entered the enclosure of a famous baby monkey in Japan, they ended up getting the attention from the police instead. So here you have 2 American influencers traveling all the way to Japan and entering the enclosure of one of the internet's most beloved animals, Punch the monkey.
Everybody loves Punch the monkey, and maybe a little bit too much. 2 Americans were arrested after trying to break into his enclosure at the Ichikawa Zoo in Japan. Police detained Reed Janai Dason and Neil Jabari Duan, both in their 20s. They say one man jumped the fence while the other filmed. Video shows a person in a blue suit with a stuffed emoji head climbing into and around the enclosure. That emoji used to promote meme coin cryptocurrencies. The macaques reportedly were terrified, having gone long on Dogecoin back in 2021. The intruder also was seen with a stuffed toy. The 2 curious Georges were arrested and charged with obstructing zoo operations.
Honestly, I would just love to see one headline about influencers visiting another country that doesn't involve someone getting arrested, detained, deported, or becoming the reasons local officials have to rewrite policy and locals hating them. Also,
Well, at least there's one person exists. Just one though. It's really hard. It's really hard for them to not do that for Cloud. Like actually, speaking, I remember like he's like actually like touring around. Like he is trying his best not to do, you know, like not to be a nuisance to the places, and also try to like just visit places and have fun with people. Just generally doing that. It's not like trying to be a nuisance to anybody. But too bad he's too famous. So like every single time he appeared, and like that there would be like a big ass crowd in there. So it becomes a slight issues for that too.
hate the term influencers, even though that's what all the headlines say. I much prefer creators, because who are these people influencing? But regardless, I just want like a headline. Obviously, it's not going to generate as many clicks, but I want a simple headline of something like American influencer visits Japan, enjoys the culture, takes some pictures, enjoys the food, and returns home without a single incident. Is that too much to ask for? But no. Instead, we get this. So according to Japanese stories, you have 24-year-old Raid Janai Dason and 27-year-old Neil Jabri Duan, where both of them were arrested after an incident in Ichikawa Zoo near Tokyo, where Daison entered the monkey enclosure while Duan was filming from the outside. And authorities say the person who entered the enclosure was wearing a bright blue suit and a
There's literally no fucking reasons, okay? There's literally no fucking reason to jump in there, aside from having camera, like, filming it. I do feel so fucking bad for, like, people nowadays. They just, like, everything is on fucking camera. You need to be like that. For me, I'm streaming is just because I want to have, like, some chat with people. It's a different thing. You put your fucking life into a camera than me sitting here just chatting with people because I got trouble going out of my house. It's a very big difference. Don't share your every fucking, like, bits and pieces of life in the internet, okay? It's not going to help you a lot. Once you get complacent of it, like, you're just going to share your information all out in the fucking world, and then you just don't know what that you just end up become like that. You will eventually end up become like that.
Giant emoji style mascot face, because apparently if you're going to become an international nuisance, you might as well dress up like some degenerate meme coin mascot. But before we get into more details on the story, we should probably talk about the monkey itself, because this isn't just some random animal at some random zoo. This is Punch. And if you somehow missed the whole story around Punch, you need to understand this monkey has a genuine fan base. The internet became very invested in this monkey's life. And I know that sounds a little bit ridiculous until you actually look at what happened, because Punch unfortunately was abandoned by his mother shortly after he was born. So Punch was then raised by the zoo staff. And when keepers eventually reintroduced him to the larger monkey troop, he struggled to fit in. And again, unlike most young monkeys, Punch didn't have a mother teaching him how to interact with the other monkeys. So videos showed him approaching adults only to get pushed away. And people started finding this tiny monkey and trying to figure out where he belonged. So you had a whole bunch of videos of Punch dragging around his stuffed orangutan because he didn't have any other monkeys to sit with. So then the internet decided that we're just going to pour infinite love into this monkey.
I've only had Punch for a day and a half. But if anything happened to him, I would
Delete.
everyone in this room and then myself.
And the zoo started launching the hashtag hang in there punch. And suddenly videos that were originally intended as simple zoo updates were being viewed by millions of people around the world. Like, was Punch bullied today? Did he sit next to another monkey today? Did he make a new friend? Every time there was an update, people either celebrated or were worried for him. And I am not even exaggerated by saying people were following Punch the monkey like people, I guess, follow their favorite sports team. And this stuffed orangutan became a huge part of that story. Everywhere Punch went, he brought his little stuffed orangutan with him. And while visitors thought this was adorable, zoo staff actually viewed it a little bit differently. So according to the zoo, the stuffed animal was essentially acting as a substitute source of comfort. And the goal wasn't for Punch to carry it forever. The goal was for him to eventually gain enough confidence that he wouldn't need it anymore. And little by little, things started improving. So videos...
I'm not sure if people just are dumb or something like that. It is not some things that going to be stick with you forever, okay?
Showed that Punch was actually spending more and more time with and around other monkeys. And instead of being pushed away, he was actually gradually being accepted. The lonely monkey was finally finding his place. And that's when Punch's popularity exploded. So visitor numbers at the zoo more than doubled. People traveled specifically all the way to Japan just to see him. And people started buying the exact same stuffed orangutan that he carried around. And at one point, the zoo was receiving so much attention that visitors were actually asked to stay quiet around the enclosure and limit how long they were watching the monkeys so they wouldn't become stressed. And then on top of that, people started donating more and more money just because they wanted to support him and the zoo. And eventually, donations reached the equivalent of hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, there were social media pages dedicated entirely to posting updates about Punch, and their websites dedicated entirely to tracking Punch's updates. And I'm not even joking. I mean, there are people whose job appears to be keeping the public informed about the daily activities of one monkey. And at one point, even after the incident that we're about to discuss, fans were so worried that websites started publishing updates specifically reassuring people that Punch had not been injured. Like, think about that for a second. Like, this monkey has reached a level of fame where strangers around the world are checking in on the breaking news updates to make sure that he's having a good day. Honestly, the little guy has better PR than most celebrities out there. And that's exactly why what happened on May 17th caused such a huge reaction. Because May 17th, what I know it as is the Independence Day of Norway. Gratulerer med dagen to all my Norwegians out there. But unfortunately, for all the Punch fans out there, that's when they got jump scared because these morons decided to do this social media stunt where one of them jumped into the enclosure where Punch was. On the 17th of May of 2026, Raid and Neil, they arrive here at the zoo. And I do also want to just like reiterate how much effort these guys put into this because they bought plane tickets, they traveled all the way to Japan, they made it through customs, made it to the zoo.
The intention is just insane at that point.
So they could then jump into an enclosure with a monkey. I mean, what a fascinating use of free will. Like, of all things to do. Wow.
Also, one thing, if they don't, I think they're just fucking idiot. Monkey are dangerous. The canine teeth is like this long. You fucking idiot! You think you have muscle? You're big, ah. Wait until like something punctures it. Animal get frightened. If you do that, here's the thing. The most hated fucking thing is like, here's the thing. The animal is not that in distress when human never hurt them. Now this guy, this motherfuckers, now hop into like, you know, they always thought like, oh, and you know that they grow up in like that kind of confinement space and then like be like, are fine with like normal things. People just go there and watch them, sometimes give them food for fun and then they be happy about it. That's how animal recognize stuff. So right now, they create a new data bank in their fucking brain. There are potentially people just going to randomly jump into the fucking enclosures. Okay? And then now they are fucking scared the heck out of people right now. So anyone that is now surrounded, they will stress the shit out of them. And then they will never know that is that person's going to jump in? Is that person's going to jump in? Is that person's going to jump in? Now you just create a new form of habit for them to be stressing over with. Do they not know how animal functions?
why. Like, I get why. They're trying to promote some cryptocurrency. But still, at no point did either of them think, maybe it's not a good idea to jump into an enclosure with a bunch of monkeys here in Japan. But I guess, no, they didn't think that whatsoever. Because let's be real, there is no way they could have done this and not been caught. But regardless, I guess they have more commitment than brains, and they were arrested for this. And the video from the incident shows the dude in the costume climbing over the barrier and dropping down into the enclosure. And immediately, things went exactly the way you would expect. The monkeys didn't want anything to do with this, and witnesses reported that the troops scattered away from the intruder and moved towards higher ground. So nearly 50 to 60 monkeys were inside that enclosure at the time, including Punch. And now all these monkeys suddenly had this giant yellow emoji fall into their neighborhood. But thankfully, that's when zoo staff got in there and no one was hurt and no monkeys were hurt. But the zoo staff later said the animals appeared to be scared by the incident, and the monkeys don't know if they're a part of a prank or not, as far as they're concerned. Also, a giant mysterious creature just dropping into the enclosure, you're gonna have a bad day regardless of what creature you are. But of course, as I hinted at earlier, all of this was tied to some dumb meme coin or a crypto promotion. So that's when I have to remind myself, hey, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Because what do you mean that you're flying across the world to harass a monkey that's known for having social problems? But apparently the stunt was connected to a content competition ran by some cryptocurrency meme coin. And here, I guess the prize was $1 million. So these gigabrains thought if they flew to Japan and jumped into a monkey enclosure, they would win $1 million.
This is just
Did they win $1 million?
Stupid.
No. You know, because the main problem here is a chance to win $1 million is not the same thing of actually receiving $1 million. If your marketing strategy involves in committing a crime in a foreign country, there's a decent chance that your business plan needs a little bit of workshopping. But hey, what's especially wild is they did defend the stunt afterwards, because according to the report, the goal was simply to give Punch a toy for companionship. Okay. Punch already has a toy, and if you really wanted to do it, you could have given it to the zoo staff. Would have Punch actually received this toy? Probably not. But at least that would have came across as a little bit more genuine. It's almost...
Worst thing, this is why, like, all this motherfucker really have no idea what that doll's significance for. It's a replacement for the mothers. You buy another replacement for another mothers? Man, this guy's just like fucking idiot.
Giving the same energy as showing up to Ronaldo's house with a soccer ball. Like, okay, thank you, but why? And also, you're trespassing. Get out. And apparently this company did actually offer $1 million yen donation to the zoo afterwards, because I guess they didn't want to be associated with these morons. But a lot of people were also kind of wondering why there was no apology from them. But essentially, the internet felt like they were saying, hey, sorry, your fence got broken by someone trying to win our prize. Here's some money. But the key thing they didn't say is the people shouldn't have been climbing on that fence. And you're probably wondering, did this stunt help the crypto? Well, sadly, kind of. Because the token associated with Punch briefly jumped in value after the whole thing got some attention. But, you know, there was a small problem. The token was still reportedly down roughly 94% from the peak. So, in the grand scheme of things, I don't know how much that actually helped. And obviously, this is a meme coin, so as soon as it pumped a little bit, it completely retraced. So still, even after all this attention, the project was nowhere near what it once was. And also, it didn't even take long for the situation to go from viral stunt to criminal case, because the zoo obviously wasn't laughing, and neither were the...
And like I say again, like, you do not know what will happen. It's just that they literally have zero idea how animal works, like doing that kind of stunts. I repeatedly going to say this again, alright? Repeatedly going to say this again. Animals in enclosures, they already have a fixed habit of getting, learn, and know. Human that watching them is fine. They are not in immediate dangers, okay? They are just staying, kept at distance, sometimes give them some food or something like that. Just that, okay? And then all these people, like, decided to just jump down into enclosures to scare the shit out of the monkeys. And then afterward, now the monkey is just going to always think, like, being stressed about, like, seeing all those people, that is that person is going to jump down, is that person going to jump down there, is that person going to jump down there. Now it's just built a habit for, like, it's like new knowledge unlock. Stress. It's just essentially just give that to a bunch of monkeys. Especially that guy is like wearing a big ass like emoji hat. When he hopped down, the head fall off. Monkey don't know what mascot hat is. Your fucking head just fall off.
Japanese authorities. So essentially, the consequences just started when he left the enclosure, because almost immediately the zoo began making changes, and officials expanded the restricted viewing area around the monkey enclosure. They also installed anti-intrusion netting, and they started additional patrols in the area.
And this is why we can't have nice thing anymore in Japan, because of all this motherfucking idiot.
So essentially, these two guys made the viewing
Again, people in Asians. Okay, I'm also an Asian, and I live in Southeast Asia. I'm a Malaysian. I can tell one thing for sure. We can be polite, we can be considerate. Doesn't mean we agree with your motherfucking bullshit in there that you guys are running on the western side. Man.
viewing experience of genuine fans way worse. Wow, thank you. And they even started talking about if, you know, photography and filming near the enclosure would be restricted or even banned. So think about that for a second. You have millions of people spending months following the Punch stories. Families are traveling across the world to see this monkey. That opportunity might be removed. All because two complete morons thought it was a good idea to climb into the enclosure to try to farm attention for their meme coin. But the charges they got, depending on which report you read, reads a little bit different because they're all being translated. So some outlets are calling it obstructing zoo operations and others described it as disrupting business. But regardless of the wording, the important part is the Japanese authorities didn't simply escort these guys out of the zoo. They actually arrested them. And unfortunately, every time stories like this happen, it seems like the dudes are like, well, come on, it was just a prank, bro. And that's kind of what they were saying. And honestly, that's not even that far from their response. But authorities referred the case to the prosecutors on suspicion of forcible obstruction of business. And both men have denied doing anything wrong. I don't know. To me, getting content this way is probably the dumbest thing possible. Like, why would you ever become a public nuisance and create chaos in hope of attention? Because then that content's just going to be used against you. Like I've said this in yesterday's video and in so many videos before. Why would you ever want to be the star witness in the case against yourself? Just sounds backwards to me. And unfortunately for them, the internet didn't think it was as funny as what they thought because, you know, everyone was worried about Punch. So, you know, Punch here in this case is being seen as the victim. And these guys are the perpetrators who are ruining it for everyone. So obviously, it's safe to say nobody likes these influencers now. But hey, I guess if the goal was attention, they got some attention. It's just negative attention. And of course, they didn't win the prizes they wanted to. And they're essentially banned from Japan now. Because you might be wondering, why am I talking about this case now and not right when it happened? Well, I wanted to see what actually happened to these guys before I covered it. And there is an update to the story, but regardless, I guess we've just reached a point in internet history where viral animals need their own security.
Actually, is Logan Paul and Johnny Smalley still banned in Japan? If it is, still good. Because under their system and law, I'm not sure like it will be lifted or not.
Security detail. This is pretty sad, but at the end of the day, Japan fined them with 300,000 yen, which at the time of recording this video is roughly $1,900. And then on top of that,
it's not enough. Man, sue their asses.
That because of how Japan's rules are, they're essentially banned from Japan for at least 5 years because of this. Because
just
you
5
can't
years
enter Japan with a criminal record within 5 years. And the key word there is it's at least 5 years, because after the 5-year time, they can still deny you from entering the country. So at the end of the day, was the stunt worth being held in jail for about a month, $1,900 each in fines, and being banned from Japan for like 5 years? I don't think so. And then of course, on top of that, they didn't win the $1 million they were trying to win. So I guess they just leave this entire situation being the big idiots. Regardless though, this is still just a net negative to society, because now they just made it harder for everyone else to see the monkey that has so many fans. I guess the only good thing about this is it seems like they were not rewarded from this, because we should really not be rewarding people committing crimes for attention online. But hey, that's just my opinion. What do I know? Either way, it just seems like they just got rugged here. But other than that,
yeah, this is just, oh man, this is very stupid. Hold on a little bit. I need to take a look at something. I don't know why it just keeps stuck on people need to subscribe to actually chat in here. It's weird. I just noticed again, and I have to set it up again. By the way, yeah. Guess you guys have seen all that stuff. Maybe we can watch one more Tozy video. Just one more. Not too much, not too less. Like, depends on what kind of news that you guys want to watch. There's like that pink sauce lady one. The saga of pink sauce lady. Then, oh, this one. Oh. The ugly truth. The ugly truth of AI. What can AI do to people? How much view doesn't he said the OF name, but you managed to still get like this many view. That's crazy. Oh, this one. We should watch this one. Idiot being idiot again. Like, you have justified reason doesn't mean you have the justified reasons to destroy everyone's livelihood. You know? I think the case is still going on with
This warehouse employee was just arrested on multiple felony arson related charges after he allegedly filmed and posted himself starting what ended up to be a 1.2 million square foot fire at work.
You know, if you're not gonna pay us enough to f***ing live or afford to live, at least pay us enough not to do this.
But
yeah, this guy
how do you
literally
even
lit
come to
fire
the
in a toilet
conclusion
paper company.
To think about doing
Wow.
this. Quit and get a new job at this point. Dude completely ruined his life. Also, probably destroyed the jobs of hundreds of other workers there. But obviously, things get so much worse for him because not only did he allegedly do all of this, no, he was intentionally filming his act for social media. Apparently, the suspect also compared himself to Luigi Mangione in a phone call to a witness. So I guess we can only assume he wants attention and he probably wants to be applauded for this. But regardless, it was pretty
He's just fucking
convenient
idiot
for an
everywhere.
arsonist that his target was a Kimberly-Clark
Especially when they
distribution
want, like,
center, where
internet, like,
most of the
fame.
products there were paper products. Because essentially, it was 11 city blocks of toilet paper, diapers, and Kleenexes, so all it took was one disgruntled employee and a lighter to light the whole place on fire, burn the whole place to the ground.
A person
And also, hello to everyone. My name is Kiribako, and I'm here to like do a little bit of like daily watching on the Tozy video. Is basically just PSA of like, if you want to become like a content creator in the internet, don't do this, okay? There's a lot of idiot out there. I'm not even kidding. There's a lot of idiot out there.
Has been arrested suspected of arson and is being held without bail. The warehouse, the size of 11 city blocks, is a Kimberly-Clark distribution center filled with paper products from familiar brands like Kleenex to Huggies diapers.
Speaking of Kleenex, I need one because these pollen allergies are destroying me. And while many people can, I guess, understand the frustrations of the alleged arsonist, who is apparently 29-year-old Shamel Abdul Karim, when it comes to, you know, his wage and cost of living, but doing this is absolutely insane. Congratulations, you just destroyed your life. Plus, I mean, it's just so obvious that a lot of people are going to be affected by this, especially his coworkers. You know, the working class people who are likely paid the exact same amount as him. Then you also have the logistics chain and the company and whoever's insuring this, which I'm sure will somehow pass this down to the consumer. The only
Yeah, you know what's the kickers? He doesn't even work there. He doesn't even work there. That motherfucker that caused that fire that make hundreds of people, more than hundreds of people, lose their job. Even the transportation trucks. If you guys don't know how truck economy works, sometimes, yes, it comes from a company, but there's also many things that come from individual. You buy a truck and they become a truckers. So he not just essentially destroy some of the people life, he destroy many people life, and then innocent people life. There's no amount of insurance can cover this thing.
Good news here, though, is thankfully no workers were actually harmed from this disaster. Well, the fire first broke out early morning Tuesday in an Ontario, California warehouse, and there were reported to be 20 people working that night, and thankfully everyone made it out safe and sound, except, well, you know, they all most likely lost their main and probably only source of income. And obviously, not only them, but also everyone else who works around the clock there. They're now suddenly out of a job because one guy decided to burn the whole place down. And to make things even worse, one article states there was several big rigs parked outside of the warehouse and they were also destroyed in the fire. Meaning people who just transport this stuff for a living and potentially even work for themselves had their livelihoods destroyed as well. Like, imagine all the miles you put on the road as a trucker just to pay off your Peterbilt 379, because that's the coolest truck on the road. And some moron then decides to burn down a warehouse that you're loading off of, and just like that, your whole truck goes up in smoke. So just keep in mind how many people this guy actually screwed over when he tries to act like he's doing an act of heroism here. There is nothing heroic about this. And of course, now you have all these firefighters that have to risk their lives to try to put this out as well. But once the fire had started, it only took 3 hours for it to become a 6-alarm fire, which I assume is really bad because on Wikipedia, I can only find a 5-alarm fire. So either this fire created a whole new category or I'm completely misinterpreting this chart. Probably the latter. But I mean, either way, the building may as well just been full of matches or lighter fluid because there was simply no chance of stopping the spread inside. And I guess the building was equipped with a fire suppression system that was working at first, but once a portion of the roof collapsed, it was game over. And I mean, it looks like a RuneScape building the way that only walls are left, but essentially you have a massive warehouse that's just filled with the most flammable stuff possible, pretty much. Well, excluding chemicals and so on. But hey, firefighters were still trying to put out the flames more than 12 hours later. So all in all, officials said it took 20 engine companies, 15 truck companies, 2 ambulances with supervisors, 17 chief officers, 3 investigators, and
They essentially just wasted a bunch of people times from that few quarrel. Like, your issues is your issues, okay? Maybe it's your company issues, it's company issues, or the worker. Start a fucking union. Just make it everyone issues.
3 specialized resources and approximately 175 firefighters to get all of this under control. Talk about a massive waste. But thankfully, thanks to all of their efforts,
Hi there.
they prevented it from spreading to any neighboring buildings. But just because everything surrounding the warehouse was still standing doesn't mean they didn't suffer any negative effects, because everyone in this area was told to stay indoors due to poor air quality. And I'd bet a lot of the close neighboring buildings still ended up with some crazy smoke damages just from being this close. So
Yeah, like I say again, like, this idiot just turned everything into everyone's problem. Man, I feel bad for like especially the truck owner actually.
I guess you can tack on even more completely innocent people that were allegedly affected by Chamel's stupidity, which, of course, one of the worst parts of all this is the fact that Chamel wasn't even employed by Kimberly Clark. Apparently, he worked for NFI Industries, a third-party logistics contractor that runs the warehouse.
Yeah, that's the main thing. He doesn't even fucking work there. And he burned the gosh dang warehouse down. Like, how big the gosh dang fire is to look like this? Like, this is like... You can't even see the fire truck, okay? The fire truck is tiny. This is a big warehouse, okay?
Walls are left.
Like, you can't even see the fire truck. It's a big ass warehouse. And anyone that worked in that warehouse lost their job. and the truck that got like burned lost their job.
himself. Also, I mean, I am just extreme because if the whole building burned down for it first, coworkers said that no one
for felony arson. Police say he was working at the
neighboring buildings still ended up with some crazy smoke damages just from being this close. So I guess you can tack on even more completely innocent people that were allegedly affected by Chamel's stupidity, which, of course, one of the worst parts of all this is the fact that Chamel wasn't even employed by Kimberly Clark. Apparently, he worked for NFI Industries, a third-party logistics contractor that runs the warehouse on Kimberly Clark's behalf. Imagine the phone call his supervisor got. He did what? This is such a crazy situation.
Abdul Karim has been arrested for felony arson. Police say he was working at the warehouse through a third-party company. Investigators say they are reviewing the video.
So apparently, if it was him after all, he didn't even really go after the correct people by starting this fire. Again, all he did was put the entirety of the warehouse staff out of work and risk serious injury or death. And I guess he decided if he was going down, the entire place was going down with him. So when all of the employees had initially evacuated, Chamel was the only one not accounted for at first. Coworkers said that no one suspected he was behind the fire at the time though. They were just trying to locate him. And apparently at first, they all assumed the fire had started by the robots that they use in the warehouse. And I don't think it matters too much that he self-reported because I'm sure there would have been a way to find out that it was him anyways. Wait, actually, that would be if the camera footage would be streamed, because if the whole building burned down like that, it might have burned down the footage of him as well. But that would be if we use old, outdated. Nah, he would have been caught regardless, right? Because like in the old school way, he would obviously the tapes of everything would be burned down, but is the server for the security system, is that in the same
nowadays
building,
most
or is that
security
external?
system is a
That's what
cloud
it all
control
depended on.
thingy, so
Regardless, he snitched on himself. Also, I mean, I am just completely yapping here because I don't know how security systems work. But regardless, it is kind of funny to think that pretty much everyone at the time was just assuming this was some crazy fluke. But I mean, even if they were suspicious, it doesn't mean that they had any leads. Like, I mean, there could have been a possibility if he didn't post this, he could have gotten away with it. But of course, he wasn't going to let any robots or anyone else get the credit for his incredibly stupid actions. No, this guy wanted to go down as the poster boy for the guy who burned down the tissues. But obviously in the video that he posted himself, he can be seen, you know, lighting various pallets of toilet paper on fire and alleging that, you know, they didn't pay him enough to live. And we can only assume he's probably talking about his employer, not Kimberly Clark here. Meanwhile, you can hear his coworkers warning one another of the fire and expressing the need for them to evacuate over radios. And I guess this is when he was missing. But he even taunts his employer by saying all you had to do was pay us enough, as if he gave them an opportunity to work out a deal at any point before he decided to do this. But naturally, the video was shared with law enforcement and it led to him, Chamel, being arrested and charged with 1 count of aggravated arson and 6 counts of arson of a structure, according to San Bernardino County District Attorney Jason Anderson. And he's currently being held without bail as he awaits the scheduled arraignment that was postponed until Monday. So he is currently facing 10 years to life in prison if convicted as charged. Brocho's facing life in prison over quitting his job and trying to find a higher paying job. Like, dude. And of course, like I mentioned, there are people who are praising him for standing up against big companies by potentially causing a devastating fire and putting all of his coworkers out of work. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And sure, maybe there are some level of merit to his complaints, but this is not the way you do it. Because there are articles going around claiming that NFI has previously owed millions of dollars to its employees for wage theft. And looking into it, it seems like the Indeed salary data lists this job as paying around $18 an hour, which is around $37,000 a year before taxes. So I mean, you can understand why people are frustrated in this situation, but again, burning down a warehouse that doesn't even belong to your employer is beyond the normal level of frustration. Companies are also often prepared for things like this to happen maybe not things exactly like this, but fires and disasters are planned for. And if anything, companies will get insurance payouts and use one of their other distribution centers, which once again leaves only his poor ex-coworkers in the wake of all this destruction. Hopefully it doesn't disrupt the Kleenexes though, because going through pollen season without Kleenexes would be awful. But I think this guy was like enough of a dumbass and narcissist to think that a whole bunch of people were going to rally up behind him and he was going to be essentially
And this is
a
what a
martyr. But in
person
reality,
like working
he's just a
bubble would
dumbass.
do.
Like, congratulations, dude. You completely destroyed your own life and you also ruined a whole bunch of other people's careers. Like, I don't know if this logistics company has other warehouses they work on, but I mean, this thing burned to the ground. They probably have other warehouse workers working at those. And if they don't, I don't know how close this would be. So the people living there would have to commute a long way just to have the same job. Like, this just sucks for everyone. But the dude is scheduled for an arraignment on Monday where the charges will officially be presented. But based on the video, it's not looking good for this guy. Hopefully the people who are out of work due to this fire can be...
I wonder if there's any update on this in the comment sections. Man, it was that big, huh? Well, either way, I need to grab some snack to eat first. I'm actually... Here's my snack from Munchies. Yes, my snack from Munchies. Chocolate, chocolate. I don't want to get ants in on my table, so I'm just going to like stuff the paper in my pocket first, and I'll like toss it after the streams. Let's give some read on this firefighter perspective. Okay, but let me finish bunching first, okay? Also do some voice acting. I'm a firefighter, so each alarm means we had to add a squad. One alarm is the initial dispatch, so usually 2 or 4 engines and ladders every alarm after that goes up. And escalate the resources. 6 alarm means catastrophic fire and we're tapped out of people and resources. That means every firefighter on duty and off duty will get called in. Holy shit, like having an off day and suddenly say like some fucking idiot decided to burn down a gosh dang toilet paper factory. What? Toilet paper factory? Are you fucking serious? Yes, I'm fucking serious. Come in and help us. And we need like help from any jurisdiction who is able to, able or we're gonna lose containment. Or we're gonna lose containment. Yeah, basically, at that point, they are not trying to save the fire anymore. They're just trying to like minimize the fire, not to make it spread to another place. Like a whole gosh dang toilet paper factory is on fucking fire. Do you know how much of that embers is going to like spread out? And the amount of heat, and it's a warehouse in the middle of a bunch of other warehouses. It's going to spread to other warehouse. Immediate, I would say this thing is going to be like immediate like danger zone. Oh, Utah. Oh, the moment I hear Utah, I want to laugh. Man, I feel so sad for like Bryans and all those prick from the that the prick is deserved to get called prick. Okay, the pricks and mini dicks. Recently, they did something again. Now they do steal from old people now. Okay. But yeah, I don't think there's lots of things to like watch right now. Top back to drawing. Have some music. I will make I will make another like YCH stuff again.
drunk. I didn't mean to cheat. Now that you're miles away, all I'm trying to say is I swear that I was thinking of you. Don't even know her name and my heart's in pain, but I put the blame on you. I know you sneak out at night to see another lover. I know we saved as unknown, so my suspicions wander. I see you hiding your phone, deleting photos of us.
But thank you. It's Ina. Obviously, this is going to be cute. Yeah, I got inspired from the down the table meme. Yo, so hard to broadcast. Done. You know, it's good to have like things like this. I'm sure they continue to use the black or colorful. This one is going to be not. Most of the things should be done, but I might have to zoom. This but ears is a little bit pointy. Yeah, usually like people zoom in out, they can't really like, properly. Here's the thing when it comes to a lot of emote art. You kind of are designed it in a way that is supposed to be look super simple. There's a reason for it because like when you zoom out, it's just tiny. So you need to be like big enough. This is why most emote is just the head, or like the profile picture is just the head, like really close up head. Is because like if you draw too much detail onto things, people can't see it. Like drawing the mouth like this, yes, I can see it if I'm like close up. But if I go far away, people can't really see it. They only can kind of somewhat visible this thing as like a puff up face. So I am quite perplexing that should I make the teeth or not. But I do want to add the teeth in there just for myself, okay? This one just for myself. Same things. This one I can go. Either I can just, you know, I can do this. I can definitely just do this and then be done with it. Yeah, I have a little bit much more hand draw stuff in there. I've been thinking about using shape tools, but I kind of think about it. Nah, keep it like this. I know it's an odd way to do things, but it does make things like a little bit much pain true. Okay, it's time for the coloring. This is much more rounded. I feel like this time I can just use the paint bucket tool because generally I can't just use the paint bucket tool. Scale. Does work, but I don't know. The autofill sometimes it can help you a lot, but also the same time it doesn't. Really depends. Really depends. And got the wrong. The internet sometimes it compressed like colors thingy. Difficult. Follow them. Actual. And doo-doo-doo. Wait a minute, this is supposed to be working? Oh.
Moonrise, signaling that it's our time. Outcries, the haunting soundtrack of our kind. Red eyes, don't you worry, it's alright. New highs, we haven't reached, just being wise. We own the night, it's where we come alive. Till morning light, when we go back the eye, it's time to ride.
Yeah, I don't like it too. I want you to like draw like the iris thingy. Yeah. Usually I do this like iris or no iris? Not really sure. I think it's actually pretty nice. Yeah, this is still like a prototype versions, because like the original prototype look like this, and that look like this. I kind of like made the cheek like too chubby. I also like want to draw the eyes, but yeah, end up be like, because I just a moment ago I also saw someone else does this thing, I instinctively trying to copy them. It's not like I'm actually trying to copy them. I do have a very good like copying skill, so I end up like instinctively does copy people time to time. Because I was doing a little bit of research and then like saw that, and then I'll be like, you know what, just go for my own style. And then now this is like how I normally do my like chibi drawing, because I want to do like YCH a little bit uniquely, like try to do something different this time, because generally I just do things in a, you know. I don't repeatedly do the same thing over and over again. I tend to always like try to do something a little bit like extra, like do something different for like fun and stuff.
Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run
Really.
away and fly.
Ina don't really wear any clothes with sleeve. I'm gonna switch like the fashion, like this, like the one that she wear, the sleeveless like clothes. So I need to like. She have a lot of different fashion in picking them. Yeah, let's pick like her otaku one with the jacket. But that one is like short hair that it's fine. Like You gotta wear anything that you have in your house, right? To get comfy.
Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly.
Able.
Myself, it's fine to be alone.
Pop the color a little bit.
Find somewhere that finally feels like home. I hate all this overthinking.
Go for close.
The more I swim, the more I'm sinking.
Shadows.
Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take
Can I draw a few cookies on the table? I feel I should draw a few cookies on the table.
Been so long since I met you. Feel so strong, feel so strong, yeah. I know I could really trust you. Do no wrong, no, can't do wrong, yeah. There's no I in both of us.
Even if I kind of like overcut a little colors, it's still fine. Again, it's just a profile pictures and tiny emote, so people can't exactly like the any mistake I did, unless they like. Again, there are people who zoom in into stuff to kind of like see the mistake, but yeah, generally like most people won't. I did mention about like drawing fan art for people, for like famous like VTubers, and also drawing fan art for a small VTuber. That's a big difference. You draw for small VTubers, you are actually giving the fan art to them. Because big VTuber, they kind of got lots of fan art to the point, even they received it. It's like, you know, like partially of the message is not really like delivered, and also the same times is like you not really exactly draw to the VTuber anymore. It's more like you draw for like the VTuber communities, you know? Because like imagine I draw Ina, everyone likes Ina, they see like, ooh, this is a cute image, and then they'll be like, yeah, really like it because of. Just generally how things work. Why? Don't touch that. Ooh. Light is a little bit too strong. I'm bad at drawing cookies. Also play. Try it again. I think dirty's like stick on. Drawing tab is a little bit hard to draw. Not giving excuse though.
I can't hold back all these tears. I'm still running away from you, dear. I'm running away. I wonder what it'd be like to meet you up at midnight. See you for the first time since 2 years have gone by. I wonder what it'd be like. Would you feel all fine? Would you look into my blue eyes? See me as the same kind. Terrified of changing back to who I was when we were blindly happy. I was never happy. Give me a minute to breathe, 'cause I can't hold back all these tears. I'm still running away from you, dear. Sometimes our memories float back. You always wanna be kind, calling me once and it's fine, but all you do is lie, and it's haunting my mind, telling me how much you love me, but it's funny the way that you show it. All you do is lie, and all you do is lie. Tell me what it felt like to leave overnight. A sudden surprise after giving me a goodbye. I've used so much time to push my feelings aside. Do I live in your mind like you still live in mine? Give me a minute to breathe, 'cause I can't hold back all these tears. I'm still running away from you, dear. Sometimes our memories float back. You always wanna be kind, calling me once and it's fine, but all you do is lie, and it's haunting my mind. Terrified of changing back to who I was when we were blindly happy. I was never happy. Give me a minute to breathe, 'cause I can't hold back all these tears. I'm still running away from you, dear. Sometimes our memories float back. You always wanna be kind, calling me once and it's fine,
Ew.
but all you do is lie, and it's haunting my mind, telling me how much you love me, but it's funny the way that you show it.
The crown you. Yep. Then I can. I think just this is fine. Adding more colors is kind of like doing it. Who is crafting like oh yep, nice. Just doing. Yeah, better not light it up. Light it up, I need a lot more stuff. Okay, gonna say thing two and add reason why thing, create a new file. People chibi. Doot doot. Doot doot doot. Doot 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 doot. Doot. Doot 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 doot.
I wait for all the stars to light up for me. But then I look up to the sky for some clarity. But I just see your face light up in the black sky, looking down on me now. I can hear the sound of your voice. I can never drown it out. I wish I knew how to wipe away the thought of you, but I can't see through when you're taking up my mind. Oh, I wish I could go back in time.
Oh there. Just finish this artwork. A bit. Don't have time to look at it yet. I'm still doing a little bit of the posting, and now I'm back. Hi there. Too small. All I can say is like, you have to forfeit to draw the entire body to just like this one, draw the headshot, because here's the thing. We do have one big issues when we draw our PFP, okay? In many cases, we won't be able to see the full thing, okay? No matter how much detail you draw in it, it's not going to be there. If you really want to have like a nice PFP people that can see it, you have to, when you draw it, you kind of have to like draw it in a simple way, and also a very like visibly bold way. Don't use thin line, you like this, like use thicker line, because when you zoom out, people usually can't see a lot of stuff. You need a lot of things that kind of like visible for people. So if you kind of like see this is like the emote size, or like the profile picture size. Nobody can see a thing in here unless you kind of like zoom it really close. So if I just like remove this thing, okay, or I need to open like a new things for you guys to see it. If I even just draw a stick man, okay, use a thin line to draw a stick man here, okay, maybe like don't make him naked. Here you go, a pants for him. So even if I draw a stick man here, if I zoom out this way, nobody can see a thing here. They know there's something there, but they can't see anything there. But if you switch a little bit using thicker line, okay, if I zoom out, you still can notice that. Now you notice, right? So you can visibly notice this is a stick man. Even I zoom it like really tiny in this, you still can see it's a stick man. So using thicker line is actually one of the most important things. You have to like try it out. And I know thick line is like a bad habit too. Like for a lot of artists, actually using thick line is a bad habit. It's best for you like when you try to do like normal artwork that is not involved with like profile pictures, emote, all those kind of things. Just try your best to like use like thinner line. And also the stability, you can change it to just 5% stabilities, or maybe like 15% is the maximum, to be honest. For me, I choose 0 is because I can like have an instant drawing there, and you choose a very thin line and you can kind of like do a lot of like drawing because of this. I know a lot of people don't like scratchy drawing, then you can do something like this. People like draw thin line is to learn how to draw detail, okay? When you draw thick line, detail is kind of like thrown out the window. So you can see like how simple the art itself look like is because it's a thin line. But if I use a thicker line, this is why I say like thick line can be a little bit of a bad habit, because it does embolden the visibility of your artwork. So when it emboldens the visibility of your artwork, you feel like sometimes when you use thinner line, you didn't do enough. The reason you didn't do enough is because like when you use thinner line, you actually need to draw more stuff. You need to draw way more detailed stuff into it. Like you have to draw the hair strands, you have to draw like maybe the when you're coloring it, you have to kind of like shade it properly. Like if you don't like do like proper shading like these things, like on like thinner line, it would look a little bit weird. So thin line have their own use, thick line have their own use. So it really depends on how your capability of doing all those things. And for emote and profile picture, keep things simple. Don't be like too complicated. You can kind of have it a little bit complicated stuff, but just to know that it's just for yourself. You are not going to, people are not going to see this like teeth. Okay, this teeth is going to be invisible. But again, like those mistake, nobody can see it because like you zoom in out, they can't really see it. So the thing generally when it comes to all this, okay, is just at the end is just your own satisfactions on like the minor detail stuff. You can kind of be like, oh, I feel like I want to add a little bit like yellow spot. Bright enough. Then I'll add a ta-da. Now you have like much more shiny set. Okay. But again, like it just really depends on how you work on stuff, how you want to choose to work on stuff. But all those tiny detail, there are a little bit of tiny detail is just not going to be seen because this thing is going to be used for emote. So when I zoom it out, like I say again, the way I say you're going to forgo the teeth, because when you are in a certain distance away, you can't really distinguish the shine on like the tentacle stuff. But if I never do that, people still can generally tell the detail. And then they don't know what happened to the mouth. All they know is just there is a mouth there. And then they don't know like the character is like puffing the cheek or doing this, doing that, like all those like more basic kind of like stuff going on.
It's been hard for some, but I did this on my own. See life from your scope to find my way back home. Even though time's gone by, I still see your light
Really, at the end, like when it comes to drawing, is like different people have like different thing going.
in the sky. Yeah, you still shine so
So far, no people reply to my message and stuff, so yeah. Because I am running like a tiny raffle, but I don't want to just call it raffle, because the moment I call raffle, a lot more people would not be able to read the context, because it's generally just bot come to flood in your like reply with a bunch of like image and stuff. Sometimes you can have some requirement, hey, do this and write this. They will not do this. They will just put their like character sheet in there because they are just bot. They actually only recognize the word raffle. That's the sad part about like the thing. Let's make another one. Let's make it. Who should I make? Tend to get ignored most of the time. That's sad. Okay, this time I'm going to draw Doobie Treaty. Some people listen to hear the word Doobie Treaty, they'll be like, yeah! It's going to be a little bit hard to draw her since actually I have quite a lot of stuff going on. It's a good thing actually. Doobie do have logic. I just realized like Doobie can be like very challenging. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Da-da. Do 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 do. Well, I guess I did enough drawing. Anyway, do pay attention to tomorrow. I will do a little bit of gaming stream and drawing stream and chatting stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and as always, guys, stay healthy, stay safe. Until next time, stay tuned. On to the next stream. Bye-bye.